Commander Veltar stared at the screen in front of him. The numbers made no sense. He had been watching space for 20 years, but he had never seen anything like this. "Run the scan again," he said to his team. His voice was calm, but inside he felt worried. The young technician at the console looked nervous. "Sir, I have run it 5 times already." "The readings are the same every time." Veltar walked closer to the screen. The object was moving through space faster than anything should move. It was going at 97% the speed of light. That was impossible. No ship could go that fast and still hold together. "Where did it come from?" Veltar asked. "That is the problem, sir," said Sub-Commander Nixall. "She was his best officer, smart and careful. If she looked confused, then something was really wrong. We cannot tell where it started. The computer cannot figure out its path." Veltar felt cold. In all his years working for the Dominion, nothing had ever appeared without a clear origin point. Every ship, every asteroid, every piece of space junk had a path the computers could trace backwards. But not this thing. What about signals? Is it trying to talk to anyone? "No, sir, no signals at all. No ID codes. No emergency calls, nothing." The bridge was quiet except for the soft hum of machines. Veltar looked around at his crew. They were all staring at their screens, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. "Sir," said the technician, his voice shaking a little, "there is something else. The object is slowing down." "Slowing down?" Veltar moved to look over the technician's shoulder. "Show me." The screen showed a line of numbers that kept changing. The object had been going at incredible speed just minutes before. Now it was getting slower, but it was still moving faster than any known ship could move. "How is it slowing down?" Veltar asked. "What kind of engines does it have?" Nixall checked her instruments. "Sir, we see no engine burns. No energy signatures that we recognize. It is just slowing down." Veltar felt his stomach drop. Anything that could slow down from such high speed without engines was using technology the Dominion had never seen. That was not good news. "Calculate the stress forces," he ordered. The technician worked quickly. After a moment, his face went pale. "Sir, the forces from slowing down that fast should crush anything inside to paste. Nothing could survive it. But something is inside? The object is big enough for a crew, sir. About the size of a medium transport ship." Veltar rubbed his forehead. This was getting worse by the minute. An unknown ship, moving at impossible speeds, using technology they could not understand and somehow protecting its crew from forces that should kill them. "Where is it going?" he asked. Nixall traced the object's path on her screen. "If it keeps its current direction, it will pass through our outer territory. It might be heading for the inner systems." That made Veltar's blood run cold. The inner systems were where millions of Dominion citizens lived. They could not let an unknown ship with unknown technology get that close. "Send word to Fleet Command," Veltar ordered. "Tell them we have a situation." "What should I tell them, sir?" Veltar looked at the screen again. The object kept moving, getting closer to Dominion space with each second. "Tell them we found something that should not exist." While they waited for orders from Fleet Command, Veltar tried to learn more about the strange object. His team worked hard using every scanner and sensor they had, but the object seemed designed to hide from them. "It has some kind of strange metal skin," reported the technician. "Our scans cannot see through it very well." "What about size and shape?" "Long and narrow like a spear, but parts of it look damaged. There are holes in the hull." "Holes?" Veltar felt a spark of hope. "So it can be damaged. It is not invincible." "Yes, sir, but the damage looks old, and the ship is still flying perfectly." The hope died in Veltar's chest. A damaged ship that could still move at incredible speeds was even more frightening than a perfect one. "Sir?" Nixall called out. "Fleet Command is responding." The main screen changed to show Admiral Mordek. He was an old warrior with scars on his face and cold eyes. Veltar had served under him before and knew he did not like surprises. "Commander," the Admiral said. "Explain this report." "You say you found an impossible ship?" "Yes, sir. It appeared in our sector moving at near light speed. No ID, no signals, no known origin point. It is slowing down using technology we cannot identify." Admiral Mordek was quiet for a long moment. "Could it be a weapon?" "Unknown, sir. But anything with this level of technology could be dangerous. I am sending ships to your location. Do not let this object leave your sensor range. But do not attack it unless it attacks first. What if it tries to enter inner system space?" The Admiral's eyes grew harder. "Then you stop it. Whatever it takes." The connection ended, leaving Veltar alone with his fears. He looked around the bridge at his crew. They were good people, but they were not warriors. If this unknown ship decided to fight, he was not sure they could stop it. "How long until the fleet arrives?" he asked Nixal. 6 hours, sir." 6 hours felt like forever. The object would be much deeper into Dominion space by then. Veltar made a decision that might save lives or might start a war. "Open a channel to the unknown ship," he ordered. "Sir, we have been trying. It does not respond to any of our signals." "Then we keep trying. Maybe it just does not understand our language." For the next hour, they sent every type of signal they could think of. Radio waves, light pulses, mathematical patterns, even pictures, but the object stayed silent, moving through space like a ghost. "Sir," the technician said suddenly, "the object is changing course." Veltar spun around. "Changing course? How?" "It is turning toward us." The bridge went very quiet. Every person stopped what they were doing and looked at the main screen. The object, which had been moving in a straight line, was now pointing directly at their station. "Is it attacking?" someone whispered. "No," Nixal said, studying her instruments. "It is still slowing down, but it is coming straight for us." Veltar felt sweat on his forehead. An unknown ship with impossible technology was heading right for them, and he had no idea what it wanted. "All stations, prepare for possible contact," he announced, "and send another message to Fleet Command. Tell them the situation just got more interesting." Outside in the darkness of space, the strange object continued its approach. Whatever was inside it, whatever technology powered it, and wherever it had come from, Veltar knew his life was about to change forever. The Dominion had ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years. They thought they knew everything about space travel and alien technology. But now something new had appeared, something that broke all their rules and challenged everything they believed, and it was coming straight for them. Captain Hyunwoo Kim felt cold metal against his face before he felt anything else. Then came the pain in his chest, like someone was squeezing his lungs. He opened his eyes slowly and saw the inside of a cryo-sleep pod. Emergency lights blinked red all around him. That was not good. Emergency lights meant something had gone very wrong. He pushed the pod lid open and sat up. His body felt weak and shaky. How long had he been asleep? The last thing he remembered was giving the order to enter emergency cryosleep when their ship's engines had failed. "Hello?" he called out. His voice sounded rough and dry. "Anyone else awake?" A groan came from the pod next to his. Dr. So-Young Park was sitting up, holding her head in her hands. "I feel terrible," she said. "How long were we out?" "I do not know yet." Hyunwoo tried to stand, but his legs were too weak. He had to hold onto the pod for support. "We need to check the others." There were 4 cryo-sleep pods in the small medical bay. Hyunwoo and So-Young were awake, but the other 2 pods were still closed. Hyunwoo pressed the emergency release on the 3rd pod. Engineer Tae-Min Lee sat up quickly, looking around with wide eyes. "What happened? Are we under attack?" "Calm down," So-Young said in her doctor voice. "We are safe for now, but we need to wake up Bora and figure out what is going on." The 4th pod opened to reveal Communications Officer Bora Choi. She looked pale and sick, but she was breathing normally, so Young checked each of them quickly with her medical scanner. "We are all healthy," she announced, "but we have been in cryosleep for a long time. At least 3 years, maybe more. 3 years. Taemin jumped to his feet, then almost fell down again. "The colony mission was only supposed to take 2 years total." Hyunwoo felt ice in his stomach. The colony mission had been humanity's first attempt to settle a new world outside their solar system. 100 families had volunteered to make the long journey to a planet called New Earth. But something had gone wrong with their ship's faster-than-light drive, and they had been forced to abandon the mission. "We need to get to the bridge," Hyunwoo said. "Find out where we are." The 4 of them made their way through the ship's narrow corridors. The Eternal Wanderer was not a big ship, but it had been home to 100 colonists. Now the corridors were empty and quiet. Their footsteps echoed off the metal walls. When they reached the bridge, Hyunwoo saw immediately that things were bad. Half the control panels were dark. Cables hung from the ceiling where repair work had been started but never finished. The main view screen showed only stars, but they were not the stars from Earth's sky. "Bora, can you get the communications working?" Hyunwoo asked. Bora sat down at her station and started pushing buttons. "The basic systems are working, but we have no signal from Earth. No signal from the colony fleet either." "How is that possible?" So Young asked. The colony fleet had 50 ships. We should be able to contact someone. Taman was already at the engineering station reading the ship's status reports. His face got more worried as he read. Captain, we have big problems. The faster-than-light drive is completely broken. The regular engines are working, but barely, and we are almost out of fuel. Where are we? Hyunwoo asked, though he was afraid to hear the answer. Bora worked at her console, trying to identify the stars around them. After several minutes, she shook her head. I cannot tell. These star patterns do not match anything in our navigation database. The bridge went very quiet. They were lost in space with no way to call for help and no way to get home. How did we get here? So Young asked quietly. Taman pulled up the ship's automatic log files. It looks like the faster-than-light drive malfunctioned right after we went into emergency sleep. Instead of stopping, it kept running. We traveled much farther than we were supposed to. How much farther? Hyunwoo asked. I am not sure. But based on the power readings, we might have traveled for months at faster-than-light speed. We could be hundreds of light years from Earth. Hyunwoo sat down in the captain's chair and tried to think. They were alone in unknown space with a broken ship and limited supplies. But they were alive, and that meant they still had a chance. What do we have for supplies? He asked So Young. She checked her medical records. The cryo-sleep systems kept us alive, but they used most of our food supplies. We have maybe 2 weeks of emergency rations left. And the ship? Taman looked at his engineering reports. The hull is damaged but sealed. Life support is working, but not well. The faster-than-light drive is dead, but I might be able to fix the regular engines if I have time. Communications? Bora tested her equipment. I can send and receive signals, but only short range. If there is anyone out here, we might be able to talk to them. Hyunwoo felt a little hope. They had problems, but they also had solutions. That was what humans did best, solve problems. All right, he said. Here is what we are going to do. Taman, focus on getting the engines working better. We need to be able to move if we find somewhere to go. So Young, figure out how to stretch our food supplies. Bora, keep scanning for any signals or signs of other ships. What about you, Captain? So Young asked. I am going to study our situation and make a plan. We are going to get through this. For the next several hours, each of them worked on their tasks. Taman crawled through the engine compartments, fixing what he could with limited supplies. So Young went through their food stores and calculated how long they could survive. Bora listened to the radio frequencies, hoping to hear something, anything that might help them. Hyunwoo studied the star charts and tried to figure out how far they had traveled. The more he learned, the more amazed he became. Based on the energy readings from their broken faster-than-light drive, they had traveled farther than any human had ever gone. They were in completely unknown space. Captain, Bora called out suddenly. I am picking up something. Everyone stopped what they were doing and came to her station. What kind of signal? Hyunwoo asked. It is not a signal exactly. It is more like scanner beams. Someone is scanning us. Scanning us? From where? Bora adjusted her instruments. I cannot tell exactly, but the scans are very powerful. Whoever is doing this has technology that is much better than ours. Taemin looked worried. Could it be another human ship? No, Bora said. The scanning patterns are completely different from anything humans use. So Young sat down heavily. You mean we are being scanned by aliens? The word hung in the air like a weight. Aliens. For hundreds of years, humans had wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer. Are they trying to communicate? Hyunwoo asked. Bora listened carefully to her instruments. I do not think so. They are just watching us, and can we talk to them? I can try to send a signal back, but I do not know if they will understand it. Hyunwoo thought for a moment. They were lost, low on supplies and being watched by unknown aliens with superior technology. But they were still alive, and they were human. Humans did not give up. Send a peaceful signal, he decided. Something that shows we are not hostile. Bora worked at her console, sending mathematical patterns and simple pictures into space. They waited, but there was no response. Keep trying, Hyunwoo said. And everyone keep working on your tasks. If these aliens decide to make contact, we need to be ready. As they worked, none of them noticed that the alien scanners were getting stronger. Somewhere out in the darkness, ships were moving toward them. The aliens had never seen anything like the human ship before. It had technology they did not understand, and had survived a journey through space that should have been impossible. The first contact between humans and the galaxy was about to begin, and neither side knew what to expect. The first alien ship appeared like a shadow against the stars. Captain Hyunwoo watched it grow larger on their view screen, his heart beating fast. It was huge, much bigger than the Eternal Wanderer and covered in strange angles that hurt to look at. "Bora, are they trying to talk to us now?" he asked. Bora had been working at her communication station for hours. "Yes, sir. They are sending signals, but they are in some kind of code I have never seen." "Can you decode it?" "I am trying, but it might take time." Their language is completely different from any human language. More ships appeared around them. Hyunwoo counted at least 6, all of them bigger than his ship. They formed a circle around the Eternal Wanderer, but they did not attack. They just waited. "Taemin, how are the engines?" Hyunwoo asked. "Getting better, sir. I managed to fix the main power coupling, but we still cannot go very fast. If those ships want to catch us, they will." Dr. So Young was studying the alien ships with the ship's sensors. "Captain, these ships are amazing. The metal they are made of is stronger than anything we have. And look at their engines, they can probably travel many times faster than light speed." Hyunwoo felt small. The aliens had technology that was far better than human technology. If they wanted to destroy the Eternal Wanderer, there was nothing he could do to stop them. But they had not attacked yet. That had to mean something. "Bora, send them our peaceful signals again. The mathematical patterns and the pictures. Already doing it, sir. But I think they are trying to send us something more complex." On the main view screen, the largest alien ship moved closer. Hyunwoo could see details of its hull now. It was covered in symbols that glowed with soft light. "Beautiful but completely alien, sir," Bora said excitedly. "I think I figured out part of their message. They are asking questions." "What kind of questions?" "Basic things. Like, what are you and where do you come from?" "I think they are as confused about us as we are about them." Hyunwoo felt a little relief. If the aliens were asking questions, they were not planning to attack immediately. "Can you answer them?" "I can try. Give me a few more minutes to figure out their number system." While Bora worked, Taemin continued fixing the engines. He had discovered something interesting about their broken faster-than-light drive. When it had malfunctioned, it had somehow mixed with the regular engines, creating a new kind of propulsion system. "Captain," he called out, "you need to see this." Hyunwoo went to the engineering station. Taemin showed him a diagram of their modified engines. When the faster-than-light drive broke, it sent energy into the regular engines. Now they work differently. "I think we can go faster than we were supposed to, even without the main drive working." "How much faster?" "I am not sure, but maybe twice as fast as before. The energy patterns are really strange." Hyunwoo looked at the diagram. He did not understand all the technical details, but he could see that their ship was now unique. The accident that had stranded them had also made them special. "Keep working on it," he said, "but do not test anything yet. I do not want the aliens to think we are preparing to run away." "Got it," Bora suddenly shouted. "I can talk to them." Everyone gathered around her station. She had figured out how to translate basic concepts between human language and the alien language. "What are they saying?" Hyunwoo asked. "They want to know our name and where we come from. They also want to know how we got here so fast. Tell them we are humans from Earth, and that we got here by accident." Bora typed commands into her computer, translating Hyunwoo's words into alien symbols. She sent the message and they waited. The response came back quickly. Bora read it and looked confused. "They do not believe us," she said. "They say no ship can travel through the dead zones and survive." "Dead zones?" "I think they mean the areas of space we pass through. They are calling it impossible." So Young looked at her sensor readings. "Maybe that explains why we got so sick during the journey. We might have gone through areas that are dangerous for living beings." The alien messages kept coming. Bora worked hard to translate them, and slowly the conversation became clearer. "They are very surprised that we are alive," she reported. "They keep asking how we survived the journey. They also want to know about our technology." "What should I tell them?" Hyunwoo asked. "Maybe we should be honest. Tell them that we almost died, but we managed to survive." Hyunwoo thought about it. Being honest might be dangerous, but lying would probably be worse. These aliens clearly had technology that was better than human technology. They would figure out the truth eventually. Tell them the truth, he decided. "We had an accident, we almost died, but we survived because we are stubborn." Bora translated the message and sent it. The response took longer this time. "They want to come aboard," she finally said. They want to see our ship and meet us in person. The bridge went quiet. Meeting aliens face to face was exciting but also terrifying. They had no idea what these beings looked like or how they would react to humans. Are they asking permission or telling us what they are going to do? Hyunwoo asked. It sounds like they are asking. They say they will not harm us if we cooperate. Hyunwoo looked around at his crew. They all looked scared but determined. They had come this far together. They would face this challenge together too. Tell them they can send one representative. But we want to talk first through the communication system. The aliens agreed to this. For the next hour, they had a long conversation through the ship's communications. Slowly, both sides began to understand each other better. The aliens called themselves the Kethari, and they were part of something called the Dominion. They had been exploring space for thousands of years and had met many different species, but they had never met anything like humans. They say we did something impossible, Bora translated. They keep asking about the dead zones. I think those are areas of space that are very dangerous. How dangerous? So Young asked. From what I can understand, the radiation and gravitational forces should kill any living thing that goes through them. Ships that try to cross those areas are never seen again. Taemin looked up from his engineering station. That might explain the damage to our ship, and why we all got sick during the journey. But we survived, Hyunwoo said. That makes us special. The alien commander, who called himself Veltar, finally agreed to meet them in person. He would come aboard their ship with one other alien, while the human crew stayed on the bridge. Are we ready for this? Hyunwoo asked his crew. As ready as we can be, So Young said. I have medical supplies ready in case they are dangerous to us or we are dangerous to them. The communications are working well now, Bora added. I can translate for us, and I can shut down all our important systems if we need to, Taemin said. Just in case, Hyunwoo nodded. They were as prepared as they could be for humanity's first face-to-face meeting with aliens. Tell them they can come aboard, he said. As they waited for the aliens to arrive, Hyunwoo thought about how much their lives had changed. A few hours ago, they had been lost and alone in space. Now they were about to make first contact with an alien civilization. Whatever happened next, they were making history, and they were doing it the human way. Together, stubborn and refusing to give up no matter how impossible things seemed. The airlock opened, and humanity's future began. The alien that walked through their airlock was nothing like what Hyunwoo had expected. Commander Veltar was tall and thin, with gray skin and 4 arms. His face had large eyes that seemed to see everything at once. Behind him came another alien, smaller and carrying what looked like scientific equipment. Welcome to our ship, Hyunwoo said carefully. Bora translated his words into the alien language. Veltar spoke in a voice that sounded like music. Bora listened and then translated. He says thank you for allowing them aboard. He is very curious about us. The second alien, who was introduced as scientist Kilvon, immediately started scanning everything with his equipment. He pointed his devices at the walls, the floor, and the humans themselves. What is he doing? Dr. So Young asked. Bora asked the aliens and translated their response. He is studying our ship and our biology. He says he has never seen anything like us before. Veltar walked around the bridge, looking at their equipment with obvious interest. He asked many questions through Bora. How did their computers work? What kind of metal was their ship made of? How did they create artificial gravity? He seems very interested in our technology, Taemin whispered to Hyunwoo. But their technology is much better than ours. Why does he care? That was a good question. Hyunwoo decided to ask directly. Commander Veltar, your ships are much more advanced than ours. Why are you so interested in our simple technology? Veltar's response surprised everyone. He says our technology is not simple, Bora translated. He says we have done something his people thought was impossible. What do you mean? Veltar and Kilvon had a long conversation in their musical language. Finally, Bora was able to translate the important parts. They say the space we traveled through to get here is called the Mortis Fields. It is an area where the laws of physics work differently, radiation that can kill any living thing, gravitational forces that tear ships apart. No one has ever crossed the Mortis Fields and lived. So Young looked at her medical scanner. That explains why we all got so sick during the journey. We were being slowly poisoned by radiation. But we survived, Hyunwoo said. How? Kilvon got very excited when Bora translated this question. He started talking fast and showing data on his scanning device. He says our ship has been changed by the journey, Bora translated. The radiation and strange forces in the mortis fields did not just damage us. They also changed our technology in ways that should not be possible. Taemin looked interested. Changed how? Chilvan showed them readings from his scanner. Even though the humans could not read alien symbols, they could see that something was different about their ship. He says our hull metal is now stronger than it was before. Our engines work in ways that his science cannot explain. And our life support systems have adapted to protect us from things that kill other species. You mean we accidentally made our ship better? Taemin asked. Better and stranger, Bora translated. He says we now have technology that the Dominion has been trying to create for centuries. Veltar asked if they could see the engine room. Hyunwoo agreed, and they all went together to look at the ship's engines. Chilvan spent a long time scanning everything while Taemin explained how the systems worked. This is amazing, Chilvan said through Bora's translation. Your faster than light drive broke, but instead of stopping, it merged with your other systems. Now you have a hybrid engine that can do things we never imagined. Like what? Taemin asked. Like traveling through spaces that kill other ships. Like using very little fuel to go very fast. Like protecting the crew from forces that should turn them to dust. Veltar had been quiet during this conversation, but now he spoke seriously to Hyunwoo. He wants to know where Earth is, Bora translated. He wants to know if there are more humans like us. Hyunwoo thought carefully before answering. This could be very important for humanity's future. Earth is our home planet, he said. There are billions of humans there. But as far as we know, we are the only humans who have traveled this far into space. Veltar and Chilvan had another long conversation. Both aliens looked worried about something. What are they discussing? So Young asked. Bora listened carefully. They are talking about whether they should report us to their leaders. Apparently we are a problem for them. What kind of problem? He says the Dominion has rules about new species. If we are dangerous, they have to stop us from spreading through the galaxy. Dangerous? Hyunwoo felt cold. We are not dangerous. We are just trying to survive. Veltar's response was long and complicated. Bora had to ask him to repeat parts of it. He says the Dominion has been the most powerful force in the galaxy for thousands of years. They became powerful because they have the best technology and the strongest ships, but we have accidentally created technology that might be better than theirs. So they see us as a threat, Hyunwoo said. Maybe. But he also says he is impressed by us. He has never met a species that could survive what we survived. He thinks we might be valuable allies instead of enemies. Chilvan showed them more data from his scans. Through Bora, he explained that humans were biologically different from any species the Dominion had met before. He says we adapt to things that kill other species. Our bodies changed during the journey through the mortis fields, but instead of dying, we became stronger. Stronger how? Dr. So Young asked. Our bones are denser now. Our organs work more efficiently. Our brains process information faster. We are still human. But we are better humans than when we started the journey. So Young ran her medical scanner over herself and the others. The readings confirmed what the alien scientist had said. They had all been changed by their journey in ways that made them more resilient. This is incredible, she said. We are like humans version 2.0. Veltar asked to see their star charts. He wanted to understand exactly where they had come from and how they had gotten here. When Bora showed him their navigation data, he became very excited. He says our journey was impossible. Bora translated. According to his maps, we traveled through 3 different dead zones. Each one should have killed us. But we went through all 3 and came out stronger. What does this mean for us? Hyunwoo asked. Veltar thought for a long time before answering. He says the Dominion leadership will have to make a decision about us. They can either welcome us as new members of the galactic community, or they can decide we are too dangerous to exist. And if they decide we are dangerous? Veltar's expression was sad. Then they will try to make sure no more humans can leave Earth. The bridge became very quiet. The humans realized that their accidental journey had put not just them in danger, but all of humanity. How long do we have? Hyunwoo asked. He says a fleet of Dominion ships is already on its way here. They will arrive in a few hours. The fleet commander, Admiral Mordek, will decide what happens to us. What kind of person is this admiral? Veltar's answer was not encouraging. He says Admiral Mordek is old and traditional. He does not like surprises and he does not trust new species. Hyunwoo looked around at his crew. They had survived impossible odds to get this far. But now they faced their biggest challenge yet. They had to convince an alien admiral that humanity deserved to survive. "Commander Veltar," Hyunwoo said, "what do you think we should do?" The alien commander thought for a moment. "He says we should prepare to prove that humans are valuable, not dangerous. We need to show that we want peace, not war. And if that does not work," Veltar's answer was simple and frightening, "then we run and we hope we are fast enough." Admiral Mordek arrived with 12 warships. Each one was bigger than anything the humans had ever imagined. From the bridge of the Eternal Wanderer, they looked like floating cities made of metal and weapons. "They are not here to talk," Taemin whispered as he watched the alien fleet take positions around them. Commander Veltar stood with the human crew, translating as communications came in from the Admiral's flagship. His face looked worried. "Admiral Mordek wants to speak with your captain immediately," he translated. "He is not happy about this situation." Captain Hyunwoo straightened his uniform. He knew this conversation would decide the fate of not just his crew, but possibly all of humanity. "Put him on screen," he ordered Bo-Ra. The main view screen changed to show the inside of an alien bridge. Admiral Mordek was larger than Veltar, with darker skin and scars across his face. His eyes were cold and suspicious. When he spoke, his voice was like thunder. Veltar translated quickly. "He says you are humans from a planet called Earth. He says you have traveled through spaces that should have killed you, and now you have technology that concerns the Dominion Council." "Tell him we come in peace," Hyunwoo replied. "We are not here to cause trouble. We had an accident and got lost." The Admiral's response was sharp and angry. "He does not believe in accidents," Veltar translated. "He thinks you are scouts for a human invasion force. That is not true. We are the only humans in this part of space. Our home planet does not even know we are here." Mordek asked many questions about Earth and human technology. He wanted to know how many humans existed, what weapons they had, and whether more humans were planning to leave Earth. Hyunwoo answered honestly. He told the Admiral that Earth had billions of people, but they were not warlike. Most humans had never even thought about traveling to other stars. "He wants proof," Veltar translated. "He wants to see your ship's records and examine your technology." "We will cooperate," Hyunwoo said. "We have nothing to hide." For the next 2 hours, alien technicians came aboard the Eternal Wanderer. They copied all the ship's computer files and scanned every piece of equipment. Scientist Kilvan worked with them, explaining what he had already learned about human adaptations. While this was happening, Dr. So-Young had an idea. She asked Veltar if she could speak to the Admiral about medicine and biology. "The Admiral is a warrior," Veltar warned her. "He does not care about science." "Maybe he should," So-Young said. "I think I found something that might change his mind." She had been studying the data from Kilvan's scans of the human crew. What she discovered was amazing. When the alien technicians finished their work, Admiral Mordek called another meeting. This time he allowed Dr. So-Young to speak. "Admiral," she said through Veltar's translation, "we are not just survivors. We are adapters. The journey that should have killed us made us stronger, but more importantly, it taught us something valuable." She showed him medical data on her scanner. "The radiation in the mortis fields changes DNA. For most species, this means death. But humans are different. We adapt to the changes instead of dying from them." The Admiral looked interested but suspicious. "What does this mean?" "It means humans might be able to help other species survive in dangerous areas of space. We could work together to explore places that are too dangerous for your ships alone." Kilvan got very excited and spoke rapidly to the Admiral. Veltar translated. "He says this is true. Human biology could be the key to exploring the dead zone safely." But Admiral Mordek was still not convinced. "Even if this is true, humans are still dangerous. Your technology is unpredictable. Your ship should not exist, but it does. How do we know you will not use this against us?" Hyunwoo stepped forward. "Because we do not want to fight. We want to learn and grow. We want to be part of the galactic community, not conquer it." "Words," the Admiral said dismissively. "Anyone can say words." That was when Taemin spoke up. "Sir, with respect, I think I can prove our intentions." He looked at Hyunwoo, who nodded for him to continue. "Our engines are unique now. They can do things your ships cannot do, but instead of keeping this technology secret, we want to share it with you." The Admiral's eyes narrowed. "Share it?" "Yes, sir. If we work together, we can combine human adaptability with Dominion engineering knowledge. We can create ships that can go anywhere in the galaxy safely. This caused a long discussion between the Admiral and his advisors. Finally, Mordek turned back to the humans. You would give us your technology, even though it gives you an advantage? We would trade it, Hyunwoo corrected. Technology for knowledge. We help you explore dangerous areas. You help us learn about the galaxy. And what guarantee do we have that more humans will not come here with weapons? Bora stepped forward. Admiral, may I suggest something? She looked nervous but determined. What if we become ambassadors? We go back to Earth and explain about the Dominion. We help our people understand that there is a whole galaxy out here, full of different species who can teach us amazing things. You would return to Earth? The Admiral asked. If you let us. We would tell our people about the wonders we have seen. About species that have been exploring space for thousands of years. About technology that can take us to the stars safely. And if they decide to build warships and come back, then you will be ready for them, Hyunwoo said. But I do not think that will happen. Humans are curious, not warlike. If we show them that cooperation is better than conflict, they will choose cooperation. The Admiral was quiet for a long time. He looked at the human crew, then at his own officers, then back at the humans. You are asking me to trust a species I have never met before, he finally said. Yes, Hyunwoo replied simply. Just like we are trusting you. Mordek smiled for the first time since arriving. It was a scary smile, but not unfriendly. Commander Veltar, he said, what is your opinion of these humans? Veltar thought carefully before answering. Sir, they survived something that should have been impossible. They adapted to circumstances that would destroy other species. They offer cooperation instead of demanding it. I think they would make valuable allies. And Scientist Kilvan? The scientist spoke enthusiastically. Admiral, their biology alone makes them incredibly valuable. But their attitude makes them trustworthy. They could have hidden their technology from us, but they offered to share it instead. Admiral Mordek made his decision. Humans, he announced. The Dominion Council will be very interested to meet you. I'm going to recommend that you be granted provisional membership in our alliance. What does that mean? So Young asked. It means you will be allowed to return to Earth as our ambassadors. You will help your people understand that they are not alone in the universe. And if humanity proves itself trustworthy, you will be welcome to join us as full members of the galactic community. The bridge erupted in cheers from the human crew. They had done it. They had convinced the aliens that humanity deserved a chance. But Admiral Mordek was not finished. However, there are conditions. The cheering stopped. First, your ship will be escorted back to Earth by Dominion vessels. We want to see this planet for ourselves. Second, no human ships will be allowed to leave your solar system until your people have proven they understand our laws and customs. Third, if humanity ever acts aggressively toward the Dominion or its member species, this agreement will be cancelled immediately. Hyunwoo nodded. We understand and accept these conditions. Then welcome to the galaxy, humans. Try not to get yourselves killed while you are learning. 6 months later, the Eternal Wanderer approached Earth, escorted by a small fleet of Dominion ships. Captain Hyunwoo looked at his home planet on the main view screen and smiled. They had left Earth as colonists trying to settle a distant world. They were returning as humanity's first ambassadors to an entire galaxy full of wonders. Bora, open a channel to Earth, he ordered. Yes, sir. What should I tell them? Hyunwoo thought for a moment. How do you explain that everything humanity thought it knew about the universe was wrong? How do you tell an entire planet that they are about to become part of something much bigger than themselves? Tell them, he said, that we are coming home. And we are bringing friends. Behind them, the stars waited. Millions of worlds to explore, thousands of species to meet, and countless adventures to be had. Humanity's greatest journey was just beginning. And it had all started with a ship that had no identification, sent no signals, and came from nowhere the galaxy had ever seen before.